Hey everyone, good morning. Happy Tuesday. So it looks like we have some trouble again with YouTube. No idea if it's YouTube or my end, but I apologize. Thanks for waiting. Just a few moments late. I'm going to copy and paste this into our Facebook group so everybody could join. So just give me a moment. Unfortunately, people that got the email and are relying on the email, they might not be in the right one. Okay, so join me live now. All right. So we're starting there. So hello, everyone. Thanks for being patient. I pasted the link for everybody to join me here. I'm very excited about today's topic for obvious reasons. I have built up my anger for a little over 2 weeks now. And I am not going to talk about the anger against Etsy. I may touch on some things, but it's important for me to chat about how does not let this affect you, right? There's only so much we can change and control, and we're going to work on our controllables, okay? And that literally means 3 strategies so you can take control back of your business. We're not going to be, so listen, I have no problem staying on Etsy as long as they'll keep me. I will stay on until they drag me away from the platform. Okay, so more about that in a second. But you still have to take care of yourself. And so we're going to discuss that today, okay? Because I've had enough. And here's the thing, I mentioned it in my Instagram stories. My Etsy shop is up, let's see now, it was 60% last day or so I checked. It's probably around the same right now. Obviously the day just started, so it's not going to be a fair amount. Could you guys see me just fine? Let me know in the comments down below if you could see me. Everything's working. Again, I sent out an email to a whole bunch of people that had the wrong link. But listen, if it happens again, then just subscribe to my YouTube channel. You'll get a notification. Come in the Facebook group. You'll get a notification. What can I tell you? I can't control this stuff. All right. I don't know what's happening. All right. So yeah. So my Etsy's up 66% to last year. And I don't think it's because of the changes. There's some changes I think it helped with, but nonetheless, I shouldn't be the one to complain. But I realized after a while that I understood why I was so angry. I was upset for many of my members who may not experience the same, uptick in sales. Okay, working great. Your video is lagging. I don't know why it's lagging, but everybody's saying it's good. So try to refresh your screen. Yes, you do, David. I would wear it. You're good. And I found your live from a link under the one that didn't work. So all good. Yeah, if you follow me on YouTube or check that out, you'll see it. A lot of people are on this call so far, so I think it's all good. Again, I apologize. I'm trying to figure things out. I tested the stream yesterday. I think I know what I did wrong, but I tested it yesterday and it was working. So I didn't have this issue same as last year. Same as last week. But it's still happening again. I'm sorry. I'm trying to figure it out. You guys, I know you love me. I love you. So thanks for being patient. All right. So thanks for joining. I have some notes here that I want to cover. But let me just preface this by saying a few things. This is not a YouTube live to bash Etsy. I mentioned earlier that as long as they will keep me, I will stay. It is an additional revenue stream. Can we all agree? How does this work? Hit the like button if you agree. Okay? I think we all should agree that we will go wherever revenue is, wherever revenue is. So that's great. Get that out of the way. However, it's important to understand what you're getting yourself into when you sell on places like Etsy and Amazon. You don't own those platforms, duh, and you don't control them, duh, we know that. But a lot of time we don't think about that because we're just chilling, fine and dandy. We're doing some good money on, everybody's different, obviously, in Etsy. You may be making several thousands. This person might be making 10,000 a month. It doesn't matter. We can be different in our revenue streams, but in our revenue on Etsy. But we're still pretty content, right? Some of you may make more money than me on Etsy, vice versa. That's still great, but it shouldn't hide the fact that one day that can be taken away from us. One day we could be down to last year. One day they change a whole bunch of things and we're spending a whole bunch of money for ads, okay? Now, while my ads are a little out of control, they're not completely out of control. And plus, I like to, test it out, see how they're faring, especially after 30 days. I'm not being forced, but I need to check it out so I can report to you guys. So, all this stuff is happening and it makes me upset for myself and for everyone and if you're watching this and you're like, no, I'm safe, like I'm doing okay, revenue's still there, it's kind of okay. And ads are kind of like, but it's okay. Don't assume you're not next. I was telling my husband last night, it reminds me of, we're in kind of hurricane season now. We're kind of fine over here, but it reminds me of like hurricane season. And like, if you know that the hurricane's gonna come and like completely demolish your city, you don't know if you're going to be alive or not, and with Etsy making the changes, you don't know if you're next, probably a bad analogy, but nonetheless, that's all I could think of when I told my husband last night. And I was like, you don't know if you're next. And I said, it's not a good feeling. And most of us don't feel this until it's too late. When it's too late, it could be too late. Sure, you can pick yourself back up again, but it's so annoying. I don't want that for any of you. Okay. Hold on. Yeah, we're going to talk about that, Saeed. So you'll see. All right. All right. So here's the thing, guys. We're going to chat about 3 strategies that I want you to focus on. Because if you're out there listening and you're like, yeah, I'm going to agree with Dahlia that I shouldn't be, letting Etsy control my life, my business, even if you just sell on Etsy, we're going to talk about it. And if you don't, that's even better. But how do you not let them control you? How do you go through changes like Etsy's doing right now in the last, couple of months and not feel super affected by it? Sure, it may go up and down, but how do you like be chill and not be super affected by it? And I reached that point in my business where I'm not super affected by it. So I thought to myself, well, how did I reach that point? What did I do? And I made it into 3 strategies that I want to share with you. Now, even if you still don't care about Etsy's changes and you still believe you're untouchable and Etsy will never change you, I still think you would agree with the 3 business strategies I'm going to share with you because honestly, they just make good sense. They just make good sense. Okay, so let's begin. Oh, hold on. I have a note on my phone that I want to share with you guys. Hold on. I thought about it when I was walking. Okay, I'll get to that in a second. All right. And here's the thing, by the way, this anger has been over the last 2 weeks, but it really fired me up yesterday when I listened to a shareholders meeting. I got access to a shareholders meeting. I'm not sure if it's available for the public. I don't know. My friend sent it to me, business friend and friend. I listened to it and it got me so angry how out of touch they are with sellers. And listen, even as business owners ourselves, sometimes we're not in touch completely with our customers. I get that we can never be perfect and they're in it to make profits and blah blah. But there were some, like, I wish I was one of the shareholders on the call so I could ask the hard questions. I really do. But you could tell it was like the top shareholders on the call, from Goldman Sachs and a few banks, and it was like a whole, but it still got me so angry. Like I was listening to it when I was working. I was like cursing. I was like, anyway. Yeah, David, I know. David said that it's going to take 30 to 60 days for the new ads to start working. I know there's a few things I find wrong with that, but obviously we could be patient and wait. I mean, there's a whole bunch of things. We'll talk about that more in detail. I want to talk about the 3 strategies. Now, before I get started on the 3 strategies, I'm about to begin it just right now. Just so you know, the email list webinar has been relaunched. It has been completely updated, and the price will be going up soon. Now, how soon? Probably in about a week. So I'm giving you fair notice, like I gave you for the last webinar I did updates to, which was it the Amazon one I just updated recently? Yes, the Amazon one, because that took me a while. So in about a week, the price will be going up. Okay, so hop on board, but more about that later if you want to join the email list webinar. Oh, I should probably have a link ready for you guys, right? I'll get that in a second. So I see your comments. I'm going to get to them in just a second, I promise. I want to go with the first strategy. Okay. And I did this I tried my best to do it in a particular order. Take notes. Okay. So how did I see everything that's happening with Etsy? And while I do care, I care for myself. I care mostly for you guys, right? Because I know there's many of you that don't maybe make as much or really rely on just Etsy and all this stuff. But how did I just not have that huge weight on my shoulders when Etsy makes a small change? Because I know it affects a lot of people. The first way, business strategy, is to diversify. It's not the first time you heard me say this word, okay, diversification. And really what you're doing there, and even if you want to use another word, which is lower your risk. Lower your risk to chaos, okay? How do you, comment below. Tell me how you're currently lowering your risk to chaos, to business chaos, okay? Tell me there's several things you're doing that lowers your risk. For me, okay, and I'll give you some examples so you could apply for yourself, but you probably can guess what those are. For me, I diversified, and then by doing so, I lowered my risk by selling on several platforms, okay? So I sell on Etsy, Amazon, my own website. I also diversify what I sell, okay? So I'm not just relying on note cards, right? Because there's only so much I could do. I mean, of course, I could probably grow that even more, but you get the point. And I diversified my product line. That makes sense. I'm not going to sell note cards and then baby bottles and just random stuff, right? So I diversified my product line. Okay, so then with a few different reasons how you get traffic, SEO is one of them. So I could diversify my touch points of my customers. If I get people that search for note cards, I get people that search for notepads, I get people that search for invites, blah, 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 right? So I'm really, swarming the market with paper goods. Okay, and that takes a while to build. Don't assume now if you just started 6 months ago that you have to really stretch it out. It took me a while to get here. It took me a while to diversify my product line, and we're still doing that. Diversified my traffic sources. Okay, so you can take notes for yourself and do the same thing. How do I diversify my traffic sources? SEO is the first thing I always implement, and yes, that does rely on the platform not to make changes. Okay, but I'm not a fool. I'm still going to do it. It's still a great thing, okay, to get organic traffic. So SEO is one of them. Email marketing. Again, we'll talk about email, the emails webinar later. But email marketing is another way I get traffic. Pinterest is another way I get traffic. I mentioned SEO, but for my websites, Google SEO, and of course, Amazon SEO, Etsy SEO, okay? I worked on my repeat customer base, and that's through different ways, and we could get into maybe another YouTube live, or maybe I could just get to it here. Through branding, obviously brand recognition, so they know to go to my website and to keep my brand on top of mind. I don't currently do social media. I wish I had more hands, and I could. I have some beef with social media. I'd rather focus my efforts on things that are more valuable to me at the moment. And I think email lists and Pinterest and things like that is more valuable at the moment. Eventually I will get to social media. Sorry, that's my alarm. Eventually I will, but that's another traffic source you could think about. So traffic sources versus, and marketing, right? Another way I get traffic is through ads. Okay, so there's many different ways. And of course, there's more ways that I don't do, but I'm building, okay? So let's see here. I see your comments. Let me just finish my my thoughts about diversification, and then I'll read your comments, okay? So another way I diversify is revenue types. Okay, so the big chunks, guys, okay? The big chunks, yeah, are active and passive revenue streams, okay? Active is, and so look, if you look at my e-commerce business, my active, passive, think, Dahlia, okay? My passive revenue streams are when I'm chilling and I'm making money, right? I'm not actively working for it. Now, I've done the work in the beginning. Let's not confuse what passive really means, but SEO has become fairly passive for me. Ads are not as passive as you think. You have to maintain them, okay? Not just because Etsy's going crazy right now, but in general. Email list has a mix for me between active and passive. I could set up, and I have set up ad campaigns all in advance, but once in a while I go back in and edit some things that I want to do better, etc. So they're a mixture of active and passive. It just depends on a few things. And you can make email lists completely passive. You can make it completely active if you work on it month to month. There's different ways to do it. Pinterest, that provides passive traffic sources for me. Okay. And then, of course, I have more revenue streams. You guys know I do Handmade Mastermind. That is fairly active, even though I do have courses that you could buy that is already done. It doesn't matter. I still am very active in the private groups. I'm still very active in this group. And so Handmade Mastermind, while it appears to be a passive thing because I'm making the money from the courses, it's not quite like that. But nonetheless, I'm mixing it up between active and passive. Okay. I also have some true passive revenue streams that I get through affiliate income and things like that. You probably guys are familiar with what affiliate income is, etc. So I have diversified my complete business life. And I was not like this when I first started and even shortly after. Okay, so this does take time. Okay, so take notes. Okay, so let's see our comments here. Yeah, I just block some people because that's kind of annoying. So I blocked that person, guys, so don't worry. All right, so sorry, I was not looking at my comments at the time. All right, so let's see here. So I'm gonna go back to the comments where I missed. Under the old Etsy promoted listing system, my average ad spend per sale was around $3. I've been running the new ads for over 2 weeks now. My average ad spend per order is 18. Yeah, it's not sustainable. And again, like David mentioned, because Etsy mentioned this, it's gonna take 30, 60 days for it to really gather data and to start adjusting your campaigns. And so what does that mean? Does that mean you should be spending like crazy? No. Some people can start small, and so it could learn data from a lower ad spend potentially. I don't know the inner workings of what they're doing. Okay. I'm currently at $50 a day. I lowered it tremendously. But I think I might lower it even more because it's still out of control. We'll see. Okay, we'll see. There's some days that are out of control. Some days I'm like, all right, it's a mess, you know? And I did a little research. I was trying to work on my Etsy promoted, Etsy ads yesterday, and the user face is just not friendly enough for me to. I get frustrated when I'm trying to do my checking, and it's a lot of work. Okay, so I've been running them for over 2 weeks now, and results are still terrible. I was hoping I'd see some improvement. Yes, so was I. But when they told us, or they told a member of my group that it's gonna take 30, 60 days, I was like, all right, Etsy. Okay, so Gemma says she's selling on Amazon and building an email list. That's good. She's lowering her risk by doing that. Abby says she has her own website on Handmade at Amazon and Etsy, also building her email list. When people say building their email list, by the way, when you start an email list, it's not a strategy that works instantly. SEO can work fairly quickly. Email list does not, and that might be discouraging. But if you're, I'm just gonna call this out. If you want to build a strong business, you have to forego the instant gratification piece of owning a business and work on strategies that may not be immediate and you see it immediately. It will in the future bring you, some glorious fruit on your tree. Okay. And so building the email list is the first part. It could feel discouraging if you're just building it and nothing's coming from it, but it's important to do it sooner than later. More about that later, okay? You guys know I'm a big fan of email lists. And I'm gonna tell you more about mine, okay? So, and you said you need to expand product line. Love that, Abby. Very aware, right? Think about what I said, and I'm gonna give you some more strategies in a second. 2 more to be, specific. But yeah, I wanna see how you're lowering your risk. Felted Sky Studio, doing a lot more wholesale. Good. Yeah, and that's another way to diversify. I don't do wholesale. I don't expect to anytime soon, but there's many ways to diversify besides what I told you I do. Okay. Building my own website, doing more in-person shows, considering creative ways to advertise, planning to do more to build up my social media. Okay. We'll start email list. Then once built up, I will create my own website and we'll start Amazon FBA. Okay. Got it. And so some of these, by the way, comments are plans to do things. Some people already have done things and then have some plans. Some people just have plans because they're not quite there. And that's okay. I wish you were there yesterday. Absolutely. But that's not going to be the case for everybody. I have some things I want to do that I wish I was there tomorrow. Not. So it's okay if you have plans to do this, this, and that. Absolutely. As long as you actually execute and start it. Okay. David. Oh, okay. You're talking to him. Yeah, I already blocked him, guys. Okay. So, forgot to say, I'm also teaching more in person. Cool. And I plan to do more of that, eventually raise my rates. Also considering Amazon for next year. Yeah. And some people diversify outside of e-commerce, right? Some people are like, and it's not something that I get into in the handmade mastermind, but some people are like, I do tutoring on the side and I do that. Like, that's fine, you know? But you have to diversify. It lowers your risk. And so I want to lower my risk just in case Etsy does shenanigans or Amazon does shenanigans or who knows what happens. But I hope they never do. But I need to bulletproof myself for when things happen. Or forget that for a second. Imagine Etsy and Amazon didn't bother me. Imagine like I was hit with the hurricane this year, right? It didn't go through Texas, okay? But imagine it did. I have to shut down my shop, right? Potentially. I'm bulletproof myself in general. I've made enough money throughout the year, so I want to put my shop on vacation. It doesn't hurt me completely. There's many reasons why you want to bulletproof yourself and diversify, not just because Etsy and Amazon, for many different reasons. Next month you could be really sick and need to pay some medical bills. You need to up your income. There's a lot of different ways to continue to build your business. Okay. Heather says, I'm on Amazon and have my own website. I have such a good intentions and so many ideas for my email list, but am so bad at follow through. I definitely need a strategy to do regularly. Guys, Heather, everyone else, love that you said that because the new email list webinar updates, I should give you guys a link, shouldn't I? Should I be a good marketer? Hold on. Let me get that link for you guys so I could just know what to reference. Awesome. I think this is the link. Hold on a second. The email webinar updates helps people like Heather because it will help you. Very exciting. You'll see it in the webinar. It's live for people that actually already have it. Obviously, if you buy it, it'll be there. Helps you plan your entire year in under one day. Helps you plan the entire year, everything about your email marketing. Legit, like I worked so hard on it. And then I could help you in the course. I show you how to plan and do all your emails, like actually execute all your email marketing in 7 days. Yeah, it's crazy. I worked so hard on it. I'm so proud of it. All right. So hold on. Let me give you guys a link so you know I'm referencing. All right, let's go back. And again, like I said, next week, price goes up. So Heather, I think you do have my email list webinar. Check out the updates. It'll blow your mind. Okay. But yes, follow through is something that also, yes, I can make it super easy for you in the email list webinar, but you still have to actually do the work. Okay. But I break it down for you much better. Okay. Louisa, I have my own website. Good. And I'm taking your Amazon course. Good. So you have Amazon and website. And I have something to say about websites, by the way. Your Amazon course is very helpful. I'm getting more traffic on Amazon. However, I'm still struggling to be more consistent on email list. Louisa, I recognize your name. I think in my email list webinar. Sorry, I don't remember. But email list, by the way, takes a while to build. So don't be discouraged when you're struggling and getting consistent on email. Like being consistent on your own end for email list, yeah, that's on you. But don't expect results by tomorrow when you're trying to build it, right? When you have like 10 people, 15 people, like, start to slowly grow it. It could be, quite a bit of time before you start growing it. I do want to piggyback on the whole website thing. I have a few more comments. I will read it in a second. So I'm not trying to discourage anybody. Love websites. But the reason why, and you'll see where I discuss in a second, the 3 business strategies, the reason why I have these things first is because I need you to build things before you build websites. You build a website, it's fantastic. It lowers your risk. I'll talk about that more in a moment. But how are you going to bring traffic to it? So when you first of all diversify, you'll see my second tip in a second, but which is pretty much about traffic sources. You need to have a plan, right? It's great to build a website and own your own shit, right? It's great. But you need to, like, do you have Google SEO in place? Do you have email? Like, how are you going to bring that traffic? Some people don't connect the two, right? So think about that. And so like just to piggyback on what you said about the more consistent on the email list, it does take time, just personal development, to be more diligent and things like that. I wasn't always like this, just for the record, but I have updated the email list webinar to help you make it easier. I did a lot of the work for you, but there's still that piece that you have to do. Okay. Cassie says, are people of Amazon handmade expect handmade items like yesterday, like regular Amazon? How does one compete with longer times to make the product as compared to Prime? I'd love for people to chime in. on that question, because for me, we could print and ship our orders fairly quickly. So I can't speak in my personal experience. Yeah, I just can't. I like to believe that I've talked to members who have had longer processing time than just a day or two. And actually, yes, I do. There's one of my competitors who has 3 to 4 days, and she's right with me on search and does well as me. But I'd love for people to chime in. Okay, I built a site and sell small fishing reels. Okay, got it. Sales are extremely stagnant. I advertise on YouTube. On YouTube, interesting. Social media, and have low prices. I sell my own on my son. Should I get on Amazon? So if you think about this question, it really depends on where the demand is for your type of item. And are you super niche? When you're super niche, well, first of all, it will help if you diversify in several platforms. Okay. Are people searching for this type of product on Amazon? If not, there's no point in being on Amazon. Like, do people search for personalized stationery on eBay? Probably not. I have to double check that. So I wouldn't join it. So if that's the case, and I do search for it on Amazon, then yes, join it. But when you're such a niche product, the question is, how effective is your advertising? I don't want to hear you advertise on social media and YouTube. That doesn't mean anything that you're putting money to it. It means, how effective are these campaigns? You might think they're effective, but are they really effective? That's the question you have to ask yourself, okay? Are they hyper targeting? Hyper targeting, is that a word? You know what I'm saying? People that would be interested in this type of product. There's a lot of things in the air here, you know? Susan says, I'm getting serious. Oh, what? Okay. I'm getting serious about driving traffic to my website, adding my product line, looking over SEO, selling on Etsy, Amazon, my own website, reorganize my daily routine and get more done. So diversification. Stacy says, I've been coasting in regard to marketing. Sometimes we coast on things. I get it. I diversified and added a bunch of new SKUs, but not actively promoting. Organic traffic's great, but I need to get the word out for different platforms. You know, when we're juggling multiple balls, okay, in the air, it could be overwhelming. Once in a while, I have these moments where I'm just like, you know, like literally, like I was updating the email list webinar. I'm like, I don't even feel like promoting the updates. Like, I would just like, I want to work on the next thing, you know. But I thought I'd be fair. One, I'm not gonna lie, it's a revenue stream for me. So I'm like, okay, yeah, I get back to work. But also, the prices didn't go up. So I figured I'd be fair, and like I did for the last webinar, tell people, right? Okay, David, I'll talk to you soon. I quit FBA and focusing on merch instead. Custom work that takes time is not a good fit for FBA. Possibly. Becca says she's on regular Amazon and have longer processing times. Amazon. Okay, so now you're referring to her question. Okay, so let's get into the second strategy. Okay, purposely I say this for next, and it's about controlling your traffic, diversifying your traffic. Okay, anything about traffic. Okay, so we talked about diversifying traffic sources in general because I gave you some, things, and that's great. You could diversify to social media, email list, ads, different ways to receive traffic. Okay, but you need at least one of those methods to be something, at least one, if not multiple, but at least one to be something that you control. What does that mean? Okay, that means if you're currently doing SEO and social media, right, you don't control either one. While you do control applying SEO and things like that, but algorithms can change. You know about social media, okay? Algorithms can change. But the one thing I believe in, and again, it takes some time to build, is the email lists, okay? So you control that. And more about that toward the end of this YouTube live, but you need something you control. So then again, you're not just diversifying a million things and diversifying traffic sources, you're diversifying what types of traffic sources. Some of them you control, some of them maybe not. It doesn't mean I shouldn't push you to do the things that you don't control, because it's still great to do SEO, social media. It's still great to diversify, but you got to diversify within that and say, okay, I control this, I don't control this, blah, 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 blah. Okay. Ads, do you control that? Somewhat. Okay. Because you're paying to be seen. Okay. So I also do that. So you have to have at least one that you control. Okay. Like I said, I'm a big fan of email lists. Okay. And so the email, if you're just watching this, you're like, I don't have an email list. I don't know what you're talking about. I heard about it. Not sure. Start an email list. It's really simple. Free on MailChimp. Okay. Really simple and straightforward on there. Build it, meaning create an opt-in offer, post that shit everywhere, get people to join your list. That's building it. Okay. I mean, I'm obviously giving you a short condensed version of this, but, and then of course you have to know, you have to market to them. Okay. I tell people at least once a month, you should be keeping in touch. A lot of times you could email people based on the holidays throughout the year. Some holidays are not relevant to you. You know what I'm saying? And so you could email them without tying into a holiday. And of course, if you have a sale going on, tie that into a holiday. So say 20% off Labor Day sale or 15% off Valentine's Day sale, or it doesn't tie into a holiday. So, you know, something like a stock up sale that's nothing to do with any time of the year, per se. Your border.
Everything else.
It's going to be one of those days?
Yeah.
Okay.
Everything else fine?
Everything else is fine. Okay. Anyway, so he's slacking. Okay, so email lists, right? And let me touch on this before I continue. Well, no, I'll touch it in the end, was in the email course and things like that that will help you with all this to the max, like times 100. Okay. And we'll go over some like details of my emails, etc. But I want to get to these 3 strategies that you have to implement. Let me check the comments before I go into the 3rd strategy. So the second one is pretty much, how do you diversify your traffic source? This is really important, guys. Okay, if you just get traffic one way, and I mentioned in general, diversify in general, diversify everything. And I'm focusing on traffic because that's how you get sales, right? Conversion rates. So the more traffic you get in many places, lower your risk, right? We talked about that. And there's only so much traffic we could get on Etsy through SEO. So I have to diversify it. I pay for ads. I have to diversify that. I get an email list. I have to diversify. So then I could grow and leverage the platform I'm selling on. Okay. I hope that makes sense. Sorry. I am going to continue reading comments before I get into the 3rd strategy. So again, about this YouTube Live, it's about taking control back. And again, you may not take control back by tomorrow, but this YouTube Live should help you come up with an action plan of at least one thing for you to do and do right. Okay. Granted, if we want to do something, we may not know how to do it by tomorrow. We're all learning. Okay. But, you know, not everybody's cut out to be an entrepreneur. We know that. Don't give up. Okay. And if you're not cut out, it's fine. You can go work for somebody. That's absolutely fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But just know that, you know, you have to push, you know, you have to push. A lot of things I don't know how to do, I'm learning, and it's frustrating, but I learn. Okay, and it may take some time. Granted, you're frustrated because you wanted it by next month before Etsy shenanigans really takes a toll on us, right? Potentially. But it's just part of it. Being proactive, doing things before you need to do it, email list, right, is ideal. So, okay, so you're referring to her comment. All right, can't speak to Amazon Handmade, but regular Amazon products will sell better through FBA. Okay. And that, okay, let me block this person. Okay, I blocked them. So, let me go back. Okay, sorry, I'm like, I missed the comments because some person decided to be spamming in here. Okay, there we are. I imagine people would be even more understanding of wait time for handmade items. I would imagine. Sometimes they're not. It's just the reality of it. But it depends on how long. I always think about, are you meeting demands of the market? So like, if the average person provides stationery and ships it within 1 to 4 business days, if you decide to open a stationery shop and can't print and ship until 7 business days, listen, I can't help you. Okay. Like, you know, so you have to consider what is the average for your market. And then if you say, Dahlia, but my competitors have this big machine and I don't, most of them have it, I just can't afford it because I'm small fry, then what can I do for you? Okay, my battery's about to die. Sweetheart, can you get my battery, please? I forgot it. Okay. Deb says Amazon customers are a lot more demanding and harsh than Etsy customers. A couple days is okay, but longer isn't a good fit. Good point. Like, so great opinion, right? So like, yeah, I noticed that they are definitely different. They are not as understanding, in my opinion. I have handmade.
going to start charging you
I
for
have some handmade and Prime, not personalized. Okay. Prime ships immediately, and handmade with personalized has a longer time. Hope this helps. And regardless, I forgot who asked the question, but regardless of what everybody says, it's important to try. Okay. It's not good to give yourself already early in the game excuses. Is my thing charging? Did he pop it in? Okay. Oh no. Okay. So thank you everyone. Okay, I need a poster in my office that says post that shit everywhere. That would be cool. Can we add a link? Can we add a link for email list on Etsy? Yes, but your first initial email then has to be a coupon code that works on Etsy. Okay. Yeah, I do it all the time. Don't you have my email list webinar? I thought you did. I could be wrong. I get confused. But absolutely. Judith says my website is on Shopify, so that we can no longer use MailChimp, and with it, and it's not had a sale in months. So Judith, somebody in my email list webinar has talked about there's an app. Somebody could mention down below if you were that person or saw that. There's an app that you can still connect on Shopify that will allow you to use MailChimp. I forget what it is because I don't have Shopify. Okay. I don't know, Camille. I don't know who's going crazy. I do, Becca. I do need 2 cable chargers. I told my assistant one day that I know I made it in life when I could have another laptop in here, which by the way I will, not because I made it in life, but because I have to upgrade a computer. So I'll be putting the old one in here, and I'll be doing Facebook lives on here and YouTube lives. Anyway, Judith says I advertise on Instagram as well, but it's all gone quiet. I'm not a expert on Instagram, but when you are focusing on diversifying, don't do it out of fear of Etsy's next move. Do it with the mindset of all of the opportunities out there. I love that, Stacy. You're absolutely right, because I try to be proactive. But I was talking to, I don't know who I was talking to. I don't know. I was like, I don't like to instill fear in people, stuff like that. But then I realized sometimes you need to in order for people to make moves. Okay. So while Stacy's right, sometimes you have to do it out of fear, because otherwise we won't move and make things happen. Okay. So, oh, thank you. Thank you, Linda, for telling us the app. Okay. So let's get into the third strategy. Platform. How do you control your own business? By controlling your own traffic, by diversifying to lower the risk, and controlling your own platform. Now, I say this for last because you don't want to have your own .com when you don't know how to bring people to it. Okay? Don't be silly. Like, I love you guys. You know that. And sometimes it just requires us to start it. And then if you want, you can start driving traffic to it. I'd rather you have a plan to drive traffic first and then start a website. Okay. So, you don't really own Etsy or Amazon, like I said. So you first want to start a plan to bring your own traffic, okay? Social media, email list. Ads are kind of different because you have to do Google ads or Facebook ads, and I don't teach that, nor do I know anything about it. Well, I do, but not enough to teach it. So what is your plan? And you have to have multiple plans. I mean, Google SEO, etc. So if you, of course, if you're going to start a website, at least have Google SEO down. I have a course for that, by the way, but at least. And I would like you to have another plan, because sometimes when you have one traffic plan for your website, right? Listen, if you're just trying to make $100 a month, you're probably going to do it, right? But if you're trying to make way more, and of course it builds over time, but sometimes one traffic plan is not enough. And of course, you don't have to come out right out of the gate making a whole bunch of money a month. You don't. I know that. But there has to be some plan. The mistake I see with many sellers, guys, I love you, but the mistake I see with many sellers is that they create a website because they heard it's the right thing to do, but they literally are like, nobody's buying. And I'm like, can I say something? Did you think was going to happen? Did you think it was going to be just like Etsy? When people tell me to compare, well, they don't tell me. I see in other groups. Should I close my Etsy shop and open a Shopify? I'm like, completely different monsters here, So you have to have a plan. Okay. Now, if you have a plan, a traffic plan, or you're slowly building it, wait till it builds enough that you feel confident. So if you're doing an email list, you're like, okay, gotcha, Dahlia, I'm going to do an email list. I'm going to do social media, blah, blah. make sure you have actually worked on those traffic sources to bring traffic to where you currently sell. So if you successfully bring your email list traffic to Etsy, or successfully bring your social media traffic to Etsy, wherever you're selling, and you notice that the traffic sources you have, like you're able to control traffic, like I mentioned, then okay, maybe it's time for a website. Obviously, there's more into it, but you get the point. Now, I'd recommend Shopify, okay, because it's just easier to maintain. All right. And there's a whole bunch of positives. I have a YouTube video on it. Check my YouTube channel. You'll see it. Okay, where I compare Shopify to WordPress. All right. But do not open it, like I said, until you have traffic plans. SEO plus an additional way to drive traffic, at least. Okay. And it's a plus if you have more than that, which is like email lists, social media ads, again, Facebook ads or YouTube or Google ads, etc. Okay, influencer collaborations is a really popular and can provide really great traffic sources if done properly. I don't use it currently, maybe in the future. Repeat business, branding. A lot of my repeat customers just naturally come to my website because they remember my name, etc. So it's important that you walk away from this YouTube live saying, okay, Dahlia gave us 3 business strategies. More than likely, I would like to believe many of you are working on at least one of these. Am I right? Am I right? Tell me. Tell me down below, okay, from these 3, in order, well, just mention one thing. Like, great, you want to open a website. That's maybe your end goal. But what is the first thing you need to do? If you have no traffic following or anything like that, engaged following, then maybe you shouldn't open a website yet. What is the next thing you're going to do? Or what are you working on that you're supposed to be working? Like, what is it? Tell me down below. Because, again, like Stacy said, we shouldn't do it out of fear of Etsy, but sometimes that's what gets us to make moves. This is human nature, by the way, okay? Not because I want to instill fear in you, but I realized after a while, I'm like, that is the way people get to moving, right? And I've learned over time, instead of working with fear, I learned to be proactive before something happens. And so here's my story. I worked on email lists way back, many years ago, when it wasn't popular. I built it. So granted, so you're listening to this and saying, yeah, Dahlia has an email list, she's bringing traffic. But just, when I first started, I didn't bring much traffic to I didn't have a website. I had my Etsy shop. I didn't bring much traffic. I would send the email. Not much traffic came, but again, it's all in ratio to the size of my list. I'll give you some numbers in a second. And so it's important to understand that I too was at a place where my email list was not performing. Mostly because it was a small email list and I was continuing to grow it. And 2, I was still trying to understand email lists, but I was determined to make it work. And eventually, obviously, I made it work. And then I'm teaching you guys. Okay. So I want you to comment below what you're going to dedicate. First of all, don't do it for me, right? I want to hear what you want to do, but do it for yourself. So comment below to let me know what you're going to do. Now, there's one thing, it's one thing if you know how to do and implement, then let's get that moving. But if you don't, you could learn. Okay. I don't care if you buy a course from me. I don't care if you search it on Google. I don't care if you ask a friend who knows how to do it. And sometimes, depending on which avenue you take, things may take longer than others. If you buy a course, usually that will help you get there faster. And sometimes when you try to learn for free, it'll take you much longer. That's probably, we all know that, right? And of course, if you're not in a rush, then certainly you can still get a course and learn faster or not. But if you are, which I'm not saying many of us are, but we want things to move, right? Then sometimes getting a course helps. Or a paid type of training, because usually paid trainings kind of help you do the work for you, or kind of take all the information out there about whatever and kind of deliver it in a way that's easy to understand, easy to implement. You know what I'm saying? So no, Julianne says, should I wait to do an email still have my own site? No, the opposite. Do an email list. Do 100% do an email list before you have your own site. Because then when you get the site, you need to use your email list to drive traffic to it. And so in the meantime, Julianne, you could use your email list as you're building it and drive traffic to where you currently sell. That's what I did. I was driving it to Etsy. Okay. And then eventually when I had my grand opening of my website, I literally sent a grand opening email. Okay. So let's see what people say. Yes, now that the email list is updated, that's what I'm starting this weekend. Love it, Samara, because I'm so excited. I have to say this. Like everybody's gonna love it. Everybody's gonna love those updates, especially the videos. And you could click the link. Let me show you the link, guys. Don't like leave this YouTube live, but the link down below will show you the curriculum. You'll see there's a video that shows you how to plan your entire marketing calendar for the entire year in one day. And by the way, it's less than a day, but one day sounds better than like, you know, 3 hours or something. Like I could plan it fairly quickly, and I show you how to do it. Love it. It comes with a really cool worksheet. I worked so hard on that. You're gonna be so impressed with the formulas I put in the worksheet that does things for you. Anyway, and then another video shows you how to actually create your entire email strategy, like the emails, you know, the scheduling, everything within 7 days. Okay, love it. Start the list now, right? Deb is right. Start the list 3 months ago. You know, a lot of us may not do stuff with it in the beginning, but start that list. If I started that list when I first started selling online, my list would be much bigger, obviously now. But I'll take what I could get. I started a little bit later, but back when nobody like considered emails to be popular. But if you think about it, the reason why I did it because I saw a whole bunch of e-commerce places do it. I'm like, there must be something to this, right? And like a whole bunch of e-commerce people do it, and I have to learn more about it, and I'm just so glad I did. Okay. And listen, not every email I send out is as popular as the other. Okay, they vary depending on what the sale is, depending on what the time of year is. My back to school email was super popular. There was one that was not as popular. It was I forgot the theme of the email. So sometimes they go up and down, but it's still traffic and it's still sales. I don't care about the traffic at the end of the day. If I can get every person that comes to my website to buy something, I care about the conversions, right? But email lists really gather a whole bunch of loyal followers. They gather people that are actually interested in hearing it. Now, marketing is a different story, okay? The art of marketing via email lists could be very difficult. I didn't figure it out the second I got an email list. A lot of us don't, okay? We're like emailing people. Sometimes you feel like you're spamming them, but no, they join the list, right? So you think about it and you say, how do I get them to convert? The webinar covers it. The webinar covers it. Okay, there's a master checklist that you have to go through before you actually send an email. There's a private group you could join. Of course, you're more than welcome to post screenshots of your email before you send it and get feedback. And a lot of times I give feedback, meaning even if you don't want to hear it, I'm going to make you change things. Okay. Sometimes when you first begin email list marketing, it's not going to be easy because the upside is a lot of reward. Okay. Sorry, I just went on a tangent. What shenanigans are you referring to that will happen next month? So, Sophia, what I was trying to say was that, well, I was just guessing, like, what's going to be next. And so when I heard the shareholders meeting, whatever, based on what I heard, I don't believe there's anything else I have to implement. But what I was kind of referring to with that is that they said 30 to 60 days, the ads will start to work more effectively. I don't know, we'll see. But who knows what's going to happen in 30, 60 days, right? Who knows what they decide to do next, even last minute. So it just again, hate to instill fear, but sometimes it's what we have to do to get people moving. What if I told you that your whole shops will be shut down by tomorrow? You have to own your traffic, get an email list. What if I told you that, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's many things that can happen. I don't want to instill fear, but sometimes it makes us work. Right? You have your lazy moments, so do I, where I'm just like chilling. But if I knew something was going to shut down, something like that, what would I do differently? That will help us push forward. Okay, if you need the help to push forward. All right. So he says, honestly, yes, I completely agree about fear as a motivator. I just wanted to chime in that there's a ton of other great platforms out there for creative people. So much opportunity. Absolutely. There's more than just Etsy and Amazon, by the way. Absolutely. I probably should get a list together to show you guys. And obviously, some platforms are larger than others, but does it mean you can diversify to several more? Now, if you're a one-woman show or one-man show, it could be harder to diversify to many. It could be difficult, Targeted ads for sure, also more SEO. My next steps, crank up some more listings on Amazon, set up my own website. Good. And hiring an assistant to help me get it done quickly without spreading my focus out too far. Yep, that's why I have people working for me. Guys, if I didn't have people working for me, you probably won't see me, because then printing will take up all my day and every day. Printing and of course proofs, follow-ups, like I can't do it. But of course I have people. So my comments jumped. Okay. Start the list now. Yep. I'm so excited for the updates, checking them out. So, yes, I know you had the webinar, so check them out, please. Please, I am in love with the system I teach you that helps you plan your entire marketing calendar and year. I know I'm going to hear from you guys and how much you love it. I know it. Okay. So let's see. Just blocking some people. I have quite a bit of experience in PPC ads, and my educated gut feeling from watching my Etsy ad reports over the last couple of weeks is that they're optimizing for clicks, not for conversions. I don't know. I see what you're saying. I don't know how much longer that's going to last, if people are going to end up backing out of Etsy ads. We'll see. You have Etsy covered in your email marketing webinar, how to have people sign up from Etsy to my newsletter. Absolutely. Absolutely. So there's a video that talks about 5 ways to get people to sign up on your email list. It covers Etsy in there. And then there's another video right after that, 17 additional ways that goes a little bit beyond that. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just saying that I could tell you the answer right now, but the webinar goes into much more detail. Okay. What's my qualifications? Who are you? I'm blocking you. My qualifications are all these people and their happy results. And I sell. Okay. They're very focused on pushing spend to Google Shopping ads. Yeah. Yeah, I listened to the conference call for the shareholders meeting, and they pretty much want to spend the budget. I guess we're frustrated. I can't even articulate what was happening. But they're just a little out of touch. Yeah, the YouTube trolls. That was clear all from their announcements. It was always about increasing visits. At no point have they considered that more visits doesn't automatically mean more sales. You know, Deb, I think they're not that stupid. Like, I think they do, but they just don't care. So yeah, pretty much what you're saying, right? So, you know, I'm a seller, so it's hard for me to be okay with us doing. I know that you're trying to make a profit, and I'm trying to keep the shareholders happy. Like, I know, but sometimes I was talking to my business friend over the weekend. I'm like, you know what? There's a way to run an honest business. I run an honest business, both Handmade Mastermind and e-commerce, and I'm successful. There's a way to run an honest business on Etsy. There is a way. There's a way to keep, you know, I don't know who's considered Etsy's customers. Is it the shareholders or is it us? Like, I have no idea, but there's ways to do it. There's ways to figure it out. Okay. I love this question, Cassie. I love it, love it, love it. So I have a few people that have an email list and actually have my webinar that run a wedding stationery business. And the way they use it is to close sales. So really the lifespan or the life cycle of a person on their email list does not last more than 8 to whatever months, meaning you get somebody on your list when they get engaged or blah, blah, and then you're using that list to help close sales, to help, place a deposit for their wedding invites, to get their day of stationery items. Like, there's many ways to market to them, but again, they're limited. Eventually, Sally, who got engaged, got married, blah, blah, like eventually she falls off the list, and that's okay. So your list email marketing is a little bit different, but yes, there is a way to utilize this in a business where your customer will eventually fall off, which is wedding. Okay. So all right, so let's talk about email list webinar. Okay, I put the link down below. I put it again. The course has just been updated. Take a look at the link and you'll see what it includes. Okay, let's go over it together if you're interested. Okay, I'm very excited about it. You don't have to go click it. It's fine. I'm just going through it right now, so you can just mentally follow along. So the first thing I want to go over is obviously you get access to a private Facebook group. Okay, that's the first link you see. Even if you get the webinar and you're not quite ready to use it, which is fine. You get lifetime access, 24/7, whatever. Just join the Facebook group. At least be in it so you know you're in it already, okay? And then there's a course workbook. A lot of the webinars I'm updating will now get a course workbook, meaning you can look at the entire course if you want to reference something that I said earlier or a checklist that I said or whatever. It's on the course workbook, organized by unit number and section number, so you're able to reference things very quickly. Love those upgrades, okay? So that's great. Now, Unit 1, getting started. I tell you what the email list and how does it work. Obviously, if you're not new to email marketing and the idea of it, you could skip this, but just watch it. It's not long, okay? But just in case you are, this really does help you set the tone of understanding what an email list and how does it work, and then why you need an email list for a long-term marketing plan. If you haven't guessed it by now, it's because, well, I go into it deeper in the video, but it's because you own the list, okay? And you're not being bamboozled by crazy algorithm changes, okay? And there's a few other positives to having an email list, okay? You own it, no algorithm changes. You have in an email, and I go over it in there is higher conversion rates. There's a lot of positives, okay? Go through it in that video, okay? Next, which email service should you be using and why? Spoiler alert, I am telling you it's MailChimp. I do like MailerLite. I think that's a really great feature and tool. I personally use Aweber because at the list size I currently have, it's more cost effective. I got used to the platform, but I think MailChimp easy to start out with, free for the first 500 subscribers, which if you're just starting out may take you a little while to get there, depending on how much traffic you're currently driving to your opt-in offer. Okay, so anyway, that's that. I showed you how to set up a MailChimp account. Easy, and of course by setting it up you create your first email list. Then the next section is growing it. So now that you have an email list, you have to actually create an opt-in offer. So I go over what an opt-in offer is and how to use it to grow your list. You know what those are, right? Say, sign up by say 50% and sign up for our email list, get your coupon code, right? You know those type of things, right? When you go to a website it pops up, or things like that. It's on the header and footer. Then I show you 6 effective strategies for an opt-in offer. So while you could just do a percentage off, which is the most popular option, there's 5 more that I go over that you could decide to choose from, okay? Next, I show you how to design your opt-in page, because now that you have an email list, you have to get people on it, right? To get people on it. So you need to get people on it by having a form that people fill out with their email address. You know the talking about, right? To show you how to design it. Then I tell you how to set up your first automated message, which is pretty much when Sally signs up, she only gets an email with the offer you promised her. Really simple, straightforward things, okay? But it's all broken down for you. How to design your opt-in graphic. Because here's the thing, you could create a form, but how is Sally that's shopping in your Etsy store not supposed to know about the form, okay? You got to have graphics everywhere, and you got to have the text, the verbiage, like sign up, save 20% off of your first order, sign up here. Like, there's many different things you have to do, but you have to first design your opt-in graphic for the places that deserve graphics. Your Etsy banner, your Etsy, your about section, your Etsy listings with additional photos, etc. Okay. Now we go into thank you pages. That's really highly underutilized. So pretty much when you sign up, it says thank you for signing up. Check your email or whatever, right? That page, everybody sees it. Everybody sees it. So out of people that sign up, 100% of people actually see this page, right? Because they want to confirm that it actually went through. So I teach you why you should create one, why you should edit it, and how to actually do it, okay? And what you should include in this thank you page, because 100% of people see it. It's a really great page to help people convert in different ways. You'll see it in the webinar, okay? Let me make sure I'm not missing anything. Comments? Okay, I see a few comments. Give me a second, okay? Oh, damn it. Okay. Actually, no, let me see the comments now before I continue, okay? Okay. Station, it's not for competitor newsletter, see what they do, get the ideas going ahead. Yeah, absolutely. I recommend it in the webinar, and you'll see which section in a second, that you have to follow your competitors, big store, big box competitors, and understand what are they doing. It really just helps get the juices flowing, like Stacy said, okay? It won't let you enroll in my course. Why is that? The thing is there, so can you tell me what it says to you that doesn't let you enroll? Let me know, and if you really want it and it still doesn't work, just send me a message on Facebook. My name is Dalia Abdullah, okay? So you could find me. You could find me. You could figure it out. You're smart. But let me know down below if you're just like, what? I don't know what's going on. Okay. So next, like we talked about, 5 ways to get people on your list. Now you're going to start figuring out, where do you put this opt-in graphic? Where do you put this opt-in text? Five ways. And then I give you 17 additional ways. Okay. Then some final thoughts on building your email list. It's literally a video of me talking to you. Make sure you check it out. All right. Anyway, email marketing. So listen, the first part of growing your list is so important, because while you probably know how to grow your list, how do you supercharge it? Because I'd rather you not only get 20 people on your list this month. I'd rather you get 50 people on your list this month, right? It's a numbers game. Quality people, but numbers game. And so it's important you still do that properly. Now, email marketing. This is actually when you start to want to email people, what do you do? How do you say it, etc. This is a huge update in the course, okay? The other parts have been updated as well, but this is a huge update. So the number one thing you need for a successful email campaign, pay attention to that video, okay? This will make or break your email campaign. What you should email your subscribers. So the first video is about what you should email. It's about holiday specific types of emails, as well as what type of sale types, okay? Then the next thing is 14 additional reasons to email your customers, meaning non-date specific reasons to email them. So if you're like, Dahlia, it doesn't make sense for me to do Valentine's Day sale and blah, blah, because the type of products I sell, I give you 14 additional reasons to email them that is not holiday specific. So you could use that and pretty much sprinkle them throughout the year. You do a lot with it. You could just select a few of them and insert them when you have a slower month. Like, for example, I think it's August that I don't have much going on in February, and I could insert one of these in there in my marketing calendar, which I'll show you in a second. How to plan the best time to send an email to maximize sales. So time is about what day of the week. I teach you that. The time of the day, and one more other thing, okay? And then how often should you email your subscribers, okay? And so this has 3 parts to it in this video, because how often will vary, but I give you the kind of pretty much I recommend the basic how often. And then I say there's 2 additional ways you could email them more often without really annoying them, hence the title of that section, okay? Then what's really exciting, I'm so excited, how to plan your own marketing calendar for the entire year in one day. It's literally a step-by-step guide. It includes a really cool worksheet that you kind of plug in some things and it does a lot of work for you. Love it. I love it. Okay, let me see I'm not missing any comments before I continue. Yeah, let me know down below if why you're trying to enroll doesn't work, because if you click enroll in course, it'll take you to the payment and you can select your payment. So I'm not sure what's stopping you. Okay. So, and again, like I said, next week the price increases. I will give you fair warning. You might miss that fair warning, just letting you know. Okay. Many of you, I know many of you, a lot of them are in my email course. Okay. So if you already have it, please check it out. I'm so excited about it. Okay. Just, it made things for me much easier, because obviously I do email marketing myself. And so when I do my planning for next year, it's going to make it so much easier for me. It's exciting because we're all busy. Even if you're not like me, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I have a lot of things going on. Even if you're if you're a one-woman show, you're probably even busier than me, right? It just makes me so excited. It makes my heart happy that worksheet I gave you and how to plan it in 1 year, how to plan your entire year in 1 day. Anyway, let's continue. Okay, check it out, please. So, which is in this unit 3. That whole section has been updated. You'll see that last video. That's what includes the worksheet, etc. But you have to watch the whole section before you watch that last part. Okay, unit 4, another email marketing section, which is how to set up your email campaigns. Now that you know why to email them, which sale type, like, again, I went through it all and you actually planned it. You planned your entire year, or let's say you don't have to do the entire, you could do 6 months. It's really up to you how to utilize that video and that worksheet. Now you set up your email campaigns. I'll show you how to set up email campaigns that match your brand. Okay, there's a few things you have to cover to make sure that they match, because it's important to be consistent, right? You're professionals, okay? Now, the first video is how to create button and text graphics that convert. The next one is how to create attention-grabbing graphics for your email. All right, I just skipped this section, did I? No, I didn't, okay? Which involves your photos of your product, etc., okay? And then I go over into subject lines that get people to open your email, okay? And of course, in the course workbook, all that's written in there. So if you're like, okay, I have to write these down, you don't have to write these down. They're in the course workbook, okay? My recommendation is print out the course workbook, have it with you when you're doing email stuff, so you can always reference things. It's so much easier. Okay. I know people are visual learners, so you could always rewatch the video. That's fine. But if you just want to reference a point that I made, you could always go into the course workbook. All right. Then in the companies that are doing it right, I show you really good examples of the things I taught you and how companies execute it. And of course, in the video, I also recommend, like Stacy said, to follow other companies within your niche. It just makes sense. It just gives you great ideas. I'm always learning to really up my game, like graphics or things like that, so make sure you check that out. And then the ultimate checklist for your email campaign, literally right before you hit send. So I have a checklist that you need to do as I teach you all these things, how to set up your templates, how to put your graphics in, and what type of graphics, like, etc. There's literally a checklist. Okay? Use that checklist. All right. That's kind of like where you could end it. However, there's additional sections that you could do to supplement, okay, to really help turn up your email list game, which is how to maximize your email campaign results. There's 2 videos, one about segmenting. I literally walk you through the reasons why to segment and how to do it, okay? It was referenced earlier, okay? Wait, was it referenced earlier in a video, or was it down below? No, it gets referenced down below. So it's important to watch it if you're watching anything below it. Then the second video to that section is how to re-engage inactive subscribers. Literally meaning if you have a list of 1,000 people, FYI, spoiler alert, not every person's gonna open your email. And over 6 months, a year, there will be people that don't open your email, okay? This is a really important video. It can really help, again, maximize sales, hence the title of that section, Unit 5, 6 re-engagement strategies, okay? And I also show you how to set it up automatically. Literally meaning, if you start an email list today, you can set it up that every, like, let's say once a year, people that have not engaged with your emails, they will get an automated series to get them to re-engage, to make them become active again. You never have to send it manually. And you can if you want, but that's that, okay? So Unit 6 is Automation Nation. Talk about automating your entire email list campaign strategy. Now, you don't have to do this, but I would like you to at least schedule your emails. You don't want to be like, if you want to send an email out at 8 in the morning, I don't want to have you rush to your computer and hit send. Then you can schedule them. So at least, if anything, watch this just to do the basics of scheduling, okay? But in general, there's really great automation tricks here. So talk about what is automation, how does it work? How to make money from your list without lifting a finger. Literally, if you're like, Dahlia, I can't keep up with the whole Valentine's Day, Mother's Day, like all these things throughout the year. I can show you how to do something to your email list that just makes it passive, and we'll always have emails going out throughout the month. Okay, that's a really cool one. And you can do a mixture of this one and the next one. But if you're just like, I just want to make it super passive right now, I ain't got no time for it. Look for Unit 6, Section 2. I show you pretty much how to do it, and I walk you through it. Okay, what to do and walk you through it. Now, section number 3 is you can automate your entire year's worth of emails in 5 to 7 days. Okay, holiday and non-specific date related items, and how to schedule it and everything. And so that literally means I tell you what to do each of the 7 days. Day 1, day 2, day 3, and then I walk you through it at the end of the video. And I show you how to schedule them, automate it, etc. Okay, some work to set up, obviously, not gonna lie, but it makes things so much easier. You could literally do your whole entire email campaign for the entire year in 7 days. And then if you want, if it's really effective, you can schedule that same series for the next year. And so email list is not meant to be 100% passive, but you could make it fairly passive. Okay, let me sure I'm not missing any comments here. I'm so excited about it, Stacy. Like, I have no, like, I love my other updates for the other webinars, but this one is a game changer because when I was creating it, I was trying to think, like, what could it make it easier on me to plan and blah, blah. I had to really think deep. And anytime I do an update, by the way, I always take previous feedback from members who had the course and challenges that they ran into, and I mentally note them and I say, okay, how can I make it better? I'm just so excited. So, okay. Linda says, is there a holiday idea series in there? You mean like during the holiday, like Christmas time, what to email? So no, not particularly. I love that idea. And it could always be discussed in our main group or in the email list webinar group. And so for me, I can tell you what I do. But there is, but I no, I take that back. Not exactly, but you could utilize the video that goes over the sale types, and then you could do several emails throughout the Christmas time, not just Black Friday, but Christmas time, and do several different types of sales to engage them. I can tell you what I do, but no, not particularly dedicated to holiday season. Okay. And yes, and so while I do recommend X amount of emails per month, blah, blah, in holiday, I do way more than that, more than recommended. So I love that idea, but I don't currently have that. But you could take what I've taught you and create your own holiday series. Okay. Daddy, can we get a time management webinar? There's a list of ideas I have. Like there's a list of webinars people want that I'm not an expert in and I can't do. I think I'm really good at time management, like really good. But I'm not sure if I could do that anytime soon. I have a lot of other projects I have to do, which is also continuing to update some other webinars that need updating, at least one more, etc. But I love that idea. But at this current moment, if I do work on any time management strategies, it will be in the Mastermind Strategy private group. You guys know what that private group is, right? The coaching group. All right, let's continue. What's up with these spammers today or every day? Okay, let's continue. We're wrapping it up, guys. Unit 7 is about FAQs, right? And it really covers many different FAQs. Pretty much, if you're not getting enough email signups, if you're not getting enough people to open your emails, if you're not getting enough people to click on inside your emails, if you don't have any idea what you should email your customer, if you feel overwhelmed and don't know where to start, if you sent out emails but people are not purchasing, okay, there's a lot of different questions that I've tuned into. And I know for myself, like I think, okay, what are the things that could go wrong? Those are the FAQs, really cool. Check them out. Also transcribed in the course workbook, okay, in the beginning of the thing. And there's a few other questions as well. The bonuses include down below how to add your signature, how to add a signature to the bottom of emails, because you could also put your opt-in offer there. And of course, an important one, how to read your stats for your email, right? It goes over open rate, click-through rate. It's really basic, but just check it out, okay? How to prevent your email from going to spam, important. How to also connect Aweber to your Etsy shop, and of course, a mini Aweber training series, how to set up and all that stuff, because I use Aweber just in case you do, but I don't recommend you start with it. I recommend you start with MailChimp. Then I have 2 case studies currently, and I could always add to the case studies, but the case study of improving a loyalty email. So loyalty email is one of the ideas of emails you could send that is not date specific. And so I show you a before and after of and what I improved and why I improved it, pretty much taking what I teach you in the course and showing you how it's put to work. Same thing with case study number 2. I show you how I improved an automated email, okay, general automated email, a before and an after. And I literally walk you through it, okay? That's the entire course. Now, like I said, the price is going up next week, okay? I'll give you fair warning, but if you know you need it, get it. Simple as that, right? So if there's any questions, let me know down below. I will be emailing people for reminders. I will be posting on Instagram, all this stuff. So if you're around, you're going to see those. But just to give people some fair warning before it goes up in price, because this one's going to go up significantly, okay? And that's that. So guys, just remember the 3 strategies I want you to focus on. Some of you probably already knew that coming in here, already knew that the 3 strategies I mentioned, you're already working on. Good for you. Just refocus and remember why you're working on these strategies to own your own business, okay? And while it's always great to start on Amazon, Etsy, blah, blah, because listen, I wouldn't have started my own business if I didn't have Amazon, Etsy and Amazon. I wouldn't have. So I need to give, the proper respect to those platforms, because it really does help a lot of people get started, okay? But we're not getting started anymore. We are full-blown business owners, at least many of us, right? I mean, if you consider yourself still new, then that's fine. But if you're already using your revenue to make improvements in your life, like it pays for private school, it pays your bills to live in a home, like then you're not new to it. You have to own your business, right? So none of this amateur stuff anymore, okay? And granted, like I said, this Facebook Live, this YouTube Live was inspired by Etsy shenanigans, but it should have still been, I still should give this YouTube Live because it's still, it just makes good sense. Okay. All right, guys. I'm gonna put the link inside for you in the comments one more time. If you have questions, I'll be posting in the group so you can ask questions in there or just ask it in general, message me, blah, blah. But in the beginning of next week, the price will go up. And that's it. I'm so excited about the updates. If you have the email list webinar, check it out. I'm so excited. And that's all I got for you. Have a great day, guys. You're welcome. And I will see you Tuesday. Not today. Next week, Tuesday. Okay, guys? Bye.